experience.
Coming up in the bulletin, 6 students of the GHOne University of Science and Technology have been remanded on Wednesday for allegedly gang raping a first-year student. Meanwhile, a 60-year-old man has been fined a sum of 12,000 Ghana cedis after impregnating 3 of his biological daughters in the Ascent South District of the Central Region as a mysterious disease struck the family. We'll bring you the details. Stay with us. And the National Peace Council has released the protocol for reporting and alerting the council on conflicts in any part of the country. But how does this move enhance the strategies for achieving an effective conflict management and resolution? The Deputy Director of Conflict Management and Resolution will join us on Insight with some more answers. Slow. And later in business, the Ghana Reinsurance PLC is urging state enterprises to diversify their revenue generation portfolios in order to remain profitable. And on the international front, primary school teachers in Rwanda will get an 88% pay rise starting this month. We have details of these stories and many others making the lineup this hour. Do stay tuned. We sincerely do apologize for the late start, but this is News Tonight. The news broadcast is live on Facebook and GH1 TV, and we're also live on DSTV Ghana channel 361 and GoTV channel 179. Let's move on to our very first story. Now, 6 students of the GHOne University of Science and Technology were this afternoon remanded into custody for the alleged rape of a first-year student of the university. Now, the incident, which happened at the Evandi Hostel in the is the second to be recorded in less than a month duration. The first incident, which appeared before the same court last week, involved another final year student of the institution.
Speaking to the media after Wednesday's court proceedings, the head of Legal Affairs and Prosecution with the Ashanti Region Police Command, ACP Kofi Blagoji, laid bare the preliminary findings and gave a warning to students to be extra cautious while recognizing that the laws of the country will catch up with the perpetrators of such crimes.
A chunk of our resources goes into the education sector. So the only thing the students can do is to reciprocate the gesture, the opportunity being given to them by government, by working hard to also help in the nation building. But we can't invest so much in our education sector and then find other investees and they start misbehaving this way.
Meanwhile, counsel for the accused students, Richard Edudaku, insists his clients are innocent of the charges. He has indicated he will be seeking the right forum to secure bail for the students to enable them to partake in.
Once someone is accused, the law says that that person is innocent until proven guilty or the person pleads otherwise. So now until they plead that they are guilty or until a court of competent jurisdiction finds them guilty, they are innocent. At this material moment, this is a court of first instance and they have been brought here for purposes of remanding them in lawful custody. So we are also going to take steps and go to the appropriate forum and then apply for bail for them. then they can continue with the examinations and then face trial whilst the matter is pending before court.
Now, Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Jones Victor Doche, is urging members of the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana to desist from what he described as choboy to drum home their grievances. According to the veteran Supreme Court judge, instead, they must effectively articulate their slot on the Judicial Council to address their concerns. In his personal advice to members of the JUSAG when he represented the Chief Justice Kwesi Eninyoboa at the association's first quadrennial delegates conference, Justice Doche said that had worked effectively in the past.
There is a position on the Judicial Council reserved for JUSAG. I think that position must be used and used properly. Mr. Nate has been there when I was a member of the Judicial Council, and he used to articulate some of the views of JUSAG at that council. I would urge that rather than engaging in choboy all the time, some of the concerns and challenges of JUSAG can effectively, and they have indeed in the past been effectively addressed at this forum.
Now, the Ministry of Energy has hinted at a committee being set up to resolve the impasse between residents of Yulo Krobo, Lower Minor Krobo municipalities and the Electricity Company of Ghana. According to the communications strategist at the Ministry, Kofi Abrefa Afena, negotiations have begun between a selected delegation from the Krobo and Electricity Company of Ghana on Wednesday, August 3, 2022, to address the outstanding challenges being faced by its staff and also to bring a resolution to the impasse. He spoke earlier on Newsroom.
Electricity Company of Ghana, as you well know, is an agency under the Ministry of Energy. And the Minister expressed his disappointment that up till now there hasn't been any resolution to the matter. So after hearing the concerns of Neneme, as they are called, he rightly indicated that he was going to also hear the side of the ECG, hearing represented by the managing director, who at the time was not in Ghana, hear his concerns and then look at a possible best way forward so that this whole impasse could be resolved. He has asked the Krobo chiefs and people to nominate 3 representatives, sit down with the ECG, and this committee will have a representation from the national security so that we will look at issues that borders on payment plan in terms of some bills that are owed by the Krobo land, among other very critical issues, so that we can have a finality to this particular impasse.
Right, but wow.
Away from that, now a 25-year-old car sprayer Christian Aye has committed suicide in his room with a sponge at Kaswa Rock City in the Ewutu-Senya East municipality of the Central Region. Now, the deceased was last seen with his friends on Friday when they sat for a drink together.
The father of the deceased, who could not fathom why his son committed suicide, told GHOne Yabuejan that he recently bought a vehicle for him to work as a trotro driver.
No crab ya nam so abubu ya de emwa nti ono akwaje lances timide me car ma obi no npa akwaje nam so waje lances dia ese me de car ma nti ovan bi nti mini no na ye ho adwuma ama prama enyame adwa eneke ko wo hye a wo kina na spray ma ko insurance ni no ma na wa start adwuma so oni mi nkomo bia mfa bia nti mi ntimi hu se na no ma na e cause but ono just o hard work pa let me ho.
The Ewutu-Senya East NADMO director expressed shock after examining the body and appealed to Ghanaians to always check on their neighbors.
We are yes and no mu ya rom kakra because nyama na wa hye wo ho no nye makutua na metu amanfofo se eye na omotemantemu na se obi wo ho na se omuhu na ya omonhwe ne ntem because we also in Tama and Kawanye.
The case has been reported to the Kaswa police station for investigation, while the body of the deceased has been deposited at the police mortuary for autopsy and preservation.
There's now time for Insight.
Insight is brought to you by Pepsodent Herbal for strong teeth and gums and Pepsodent Charcoal for natural whiter teeth.
Now, the National Peace Council has developed its latest protocol for reporting and alerting the council on conflict and potential threat in any part of the country. This is after the government, through the National Security Ministry, launched a citizen awareness campaign in May, dubbed See Something, Say Something campaign to encourage people to report suspicious acts of terrorism. But according to the council, the protocols are meant to strengthen early warnings and mechanisms, as well as help in effective documentation of cases and interventions of the council towards achieving its mandate towards conflict prevention, conflict management and resolution in sustaining the peace of the country. Now, excerpt of the release states that the council is also pleased to bring to the attention of the general public the establishment of the Peace Fund as a complement to government's subventions. The board and management use this opportunity to appeal to Ghanaians to contribute their widow's mite into the fund to support the work of the council. And all contributions, details were given for such contributions. But critical of this particular release is the protocol released in reporting conflicts, any possible threat of violence and act along our borders and within the country particularly, is what we'll be delving in tonight. And we've been joined by the Deputy Director of Conflict Management and Resolution Directorate at the National Peace Council, in the person of Frank Wilson Puja. Good evening, Frank.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for making time with us tonight. Now, I must commend the National Peace Council. I mean, considering its mandate and the enormous task that that sits on your laps and the things that you have to do. Now, coming up with a protocol in reporting or alerting the council on issues of conflict and other possible threat. Tell us about this protocol.
Thank you very much. One thing that we should all know is that every work that will be done by any Ghanaian institution is being done for the benefit of Ghanaians. So if we have developed any document that is relevant to our work, it is also necessary that we share with the Ghanaian people. But the main issue is that we are alerting Ghanaians that there is a way to report. Oftentimes we hear cases from the media, or the media will make a statement about a particular case. But we don't want the case to even escalate before you report. As far as you sense danger, as far as you identify an issue that you could bring to the attention of the council, these documents are available to you to report to us. And that is exactly why we are actually putting out this kind of document. Now, the first one, which is the complaint form, is to give opportunity to any person who has an issue or a conflict that is available to the knowledge of such a person to report to us. So we are actually trying to, as much as possible, to ensure documentation of all the processes in conflict management. We are also trying to get the attention of Ghanaians to know that the Peace Council is available to them. And in this case, when they make a report, then we have the details of it to follow up. and that will be helpful to us. So these documents are to serve 5 main purposes. One, it's all about documenting best practices. Second, facilitate the receipt of formal complaints on conflict-related issues from the general public. The third is that it serves as mechanism for effective management and documentation of all complaints. And then the fourth is that it serves as references and systematic management of data on client. And it is also to enable effective engagement with key stakeholders and institutions that are playing part in conflict management. We have SHRAJ, Legal Aid, Ghana Police Service, the Electoral Commission, political parties. They need to know, or sometimes if there's a need to refer some of these cases to institutions like Legal Aid or SHRAJ, because not every case that comes to us that is within our mandate. Some are bordered on human rights issues. It is the work of SHRAJ or Commission on Human Rights Administrative Justice. Some need legal assistance. In this case, the Legal Aid Scheme or the Legal Aid Commission has to play its role. The ones that borders on criminality, the Ghana Police is there. The one that we have to mediate, we will go into that, or have to prevent or take some action to intervene. We have to do that. So these documents are actually being sent out to Ghanaians to be able to even alert us of any issue, or when the issue has already occurred, they can complain to us.
Now, talking about reporting and complaining to the council, how is the council going to engage the public, particularly those institutions that would really be in need of this protocol? For example, journalists or media outlets. What is the engagement like beyond just the initiative being launched?
It is the beginning. In fact, the first people or the first sector we sent this document to was the media. We believe that if it reaches them, they could also send it out to the general population. And that is the first thing that we do by issuing a statement and then attaching all the documents that we are talking about to the media. But we have also put it on our website, and we have also put it on our Facebook social media platforms. We are making this document available in all our regional offices. Currently, we have 12 regional offices, apart from OT, Northeast, Western North, and then Bono East. The 12 other regions, we have offices, and then we have also office in 2 districts, the Efutu municipality and then Nadoli Kalu district. So what basically people need to do is to identify our regional offices, at least for the moment, to reach out to them if they have any complaint or if they have anything that they see as danger that they can report.
Absolutely.
And
Frank, now your unit, or let me say directorate, is one of the most critical directorates within the council. Now, beyond just the initiative and the things that you've itemized, telling us now, what is the single largest challenge currently facing the council as far as conflict management and resolution, or conflict resolution and management, is concerned?
I think it has to do with also chieftaincy conflicts. There are a lot of them across, and the traditional way of dealing with chieftaincy issues, one has to be very, very critical. One has to be very sensitive about some of these issues. So it's one of the critical issues that I would say that we have to address. The other has to do with probably the spread of offices. We are not present in all the regions, and we are not present in the many of the districts, only two districts. So if we are available everywhere, that will be opportunity for Ghanaians to also reach out to us at any point in time, wherever they are, and that will also facilitate swift interventions and all that.
All right, thank you very much, Frank. Frank Wilson is actually the Deputy Director of the Conflict Resolution and Management Directorate of the National Peace Council. That does it for Insight. We'll bring you some more stories after this breather.
My name is William Kofi Nti, the CEO of Ad Pharma Limited. We are an organization that is always seeking innovative solutions to make our operations easy. So when our insurance agent recommended Procure Chat to insure from Star Assurance, we did not hesitate to try it. I can tell you the process was seamless and 100% visual with no human intervention. You simply save number 0242426160 and start your chat with Procure.
Melcom Best Buy is on. Though we are still in tough times, Melcom says we're there for you. Save big at Melcom when you best buy your groceries, electronics, furniture, and all your daily need items at the lowest prices. Melcom, your one-stop supermarket for all your daily needs. Terms and conditions apply. Melcom, where Ghana truly saves. Melcom, where Ghana shops.
Back. If you just joined us, this is News Tonight live on GHOne TV. My name is Joshua Nana Kwame Ira. Now, the Council of Elders of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, have implored delegates of the party to elect members with integrity, as well as members with strong sense of commitment in their quest to gain power in 2024 general elections. Ambassador Daniel Ohene Anjokum, admonishing delegates in Ashanti region ahead of the party's internal elections, advised them to elect members who will not compromise their position to the party's grassroots. He added that the recent performance of the NPP government in the region gives the party an opportunity to take control of the region with strategic leaders.
The Ashanti region has, to say the least, been marginalized by this government in terms of the lack of development projects. Unfortunately, the leadership of MPP, and I want to be specific, under Akufo-Addo, has failed to acknowledge the tremendous contribution made by Ashanti towards Akufo-Addo's victory. I hesitate to introduce this issue. The statement made by Osafo Mafu to the effect that Ashanti region, when they were fighting for our independence, where were the Ashantis? I can't believe that he made that statement.
It's now time for business. Now, the managing director of Ghana Reinsurance PLC, George Mensah, is urging colleagues of the other state enterprises to diversify their revenue generation portfolios in order to remain profitable. This, he indicates, will enable such companies pay dividends to government timely and also avert losses. He made the call during the launch of the 50th anniversary celebrations of his company here in Accra.
Ghana Reinsurance PLC, Ghana RE, commenced operations in 1972 as the Ghana Reinsurance Organization, having the government as a sole shareholder. Noted for its prompt payments of dividends to government at the launch of the 50th anniversary, the managing director, George Mensah, called on his colleague, directors of state enterprises, to diversify their revenue generation in order to remain profitable to enable them pay government's dividend timely.
A situation where your expenditure is more than your revenue, right? Then it means you should look at your expenditure quality and make some investment.
The company earlier this year opened a new branch in Morocco after that of Kenya and Cameroon. Touching on the instance of some Guineans' unwillingness to sign up for insurance policies, former managing director of Ghana Reinsurance PLC, Gustave Siali, called on all insurance companies to stick to their promises in order to win the confidence of the general public.
Very important thing is to ensure that they keep to their promise. So claims which are genuine must be paid and paid timely. If they do this, people, satisfied clients, they will be the people who will be marketing, telling people about insurance business, telling them about how satisfied they are. As soon as that goes out there, you will see that others will be willing to take the policy.
The Director General of State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, Ambassador Edward Boateng, called on the management of the Ghana Reinsurance PLC, both past and present, to publish a journal on their success story for other government entities to model after.
And mobile network connectivity and services in rural communities will soon see an expansion, as MTN Ghana Limited has hinted of a 1 billion Ghana cedis, or $1 billion rather, investment in strategic plans.
According to the Chief Executive Officer of MTN Mobile Money, a subsidiary of the company, Elihini, all 260 districts in the country have been covered with a fourth-generation 4G network, adding that MTN would be rolling out 400 new sites, while some 746 would be upgraded to 4G to ensure that superior services are provided to customers.
Today we commit $1 billion investment by 2025, and that is to maintain our leadership. Key among these investments will be ensuring that we provide rural telephony sites, and so we'll be extending network to some rural areas.
He, however, bemoaned the fact that despite the huge investments the company is making, increasing cases of fiber cable theft across the country continue to hinder stable and effective network provision to some parts of the country.
This year, we've seen an increase in the fiber cuts. In the first 5 months, we've gone from 819 to 939. That's about almost 15% increase. We're hoping that these issues will come down, but we are not seeing the decline. It's rather on the rise. And that means that on a monthly basis, we have 11% traffic impact as a result of fiber cuts.
And the West African Chief Operating Officer of the Afri-Exim Bank, Eric Intong, has underscored the need for African countries to introduce a common currency on the continent as against the use of the dollar. This, he argues, will help check exchange rate depreciation on the continent. He warns that the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement will face serious challenges if a common currency is not introduced to facilitate trade. The brainchild of the AfTA is harmonize trade across the continent by eliminating trade barriers, and hence the call for all African countries to ratify the protocols to liberalize trade. But with a concern raised by the experienced banker, question is, could the realization of the full potentials of AfTA be in jeopardy? Joining us on phone is trade analyst Isaac Hubert Arthur for further conversations on this. Good evening, Hubert.
Yeah, good evening to you and to your listeners. I mean, your voice is a bit low, so I don't know if you can.
Great. I will do very well to amplify that a bit for you. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, it's better now.
Now, with this pronouncement made, do you foresee the realization of AfTA's potential being in limbo due to lack of a common currency for trade and commerce purposes?
No, I wouldn't put it that way, but obviously common currency is very critical if we indeed want to have a full integration, a full African integration. Then obviously having a single currency will be a major step. I mean, it's not any new thing that has come up. It has always been in the plans of the AU since 1991 to have a common currency. Even the AFCFTA itself, it wasn't conceived now. It has always been in the pipeline. But I think this is the opportune time for Africa to be able to achieve that. So once the AFCFTA takes off fully, and once all the actual trading begins and countries begin to, realize the benefits, and then also see some of the deliverables under the AFCFTA, I'm sure a single market will be the next, on the agenda for us to embark on. And I think now as it stands, we can start, even without the common currency, yes, we can still start, and then I'm sure that we'll record some gains under the AFCFTA. We'll have some benefits, coming to countries. So for me, I don't think that if we are unable to pursue the single market at the moment, the AFCFTA could be in limbo. I don't believe that. I believe that we can still. But of course, when you have a single currency, it makes payment and settlement very easy. It also doesn't. It will not depend so much on the dollar economy, where dollar becomes the currency that we use to trade. Okay, and even now with the Pan-African Payment Settlement System being in place, it's all gearing towards a state where we'll be able to, have a single currency, so to be easier for all of us. You can be in Ghana and then, export your products to, let's say, Kenya, and then you'll be paid in Kenyan currency, even now as it stands, and there shouldn't be a problem, But I think having a common currency like the EU will be a major boost. It will help us. It will simplify a lot of payment issues, and then our economies will also be stabilized in terms of not allowing the dollar to dominate, on the continent. So yes, for me, I think it shouldn't put the AFCFTA in a limbo, but I believe it's a building block. Once AFCFTA takes off fully, gradually the conversation around having a single currency will resurface, and then I'm sure it will be put on the agenda of the heads of state.
Well, point well made there. Isaac Hubert Arthur is a trade analyst there with the insight. That does it for business.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
It's now time for sports, and Benghazi is here with the details. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening to you, Josh. I've got some good news because Benjamin Azamati into the finals of the ongoing Commonwealth Games. I've got details of that. And Benjamin Azamati, the Ghanaian, has qualified for the finals of the 100 meters race at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham with a time of 10.18 seconds. It was good enough to see him qualify. Unfortunately for his brother, that is Sean Safuentri, though he could not qualify, finished fifth, and was not enough to see him qualify for the champions. After the race, Benjamin Azamati was excited at his qualification for the finals and promised to go all out and make an achievement, big one for Ghana in the finals.
Finally, looking back at whatever that happened in Oregon, I think I found my feet now. Moving forward, I'll go watch the race again, and then in about 2 hours, I'll come back and then put on a show. I see that my start is not okay. It's not about people saying it, but I see it myself, and I've been working on it. I knew there would be a time to come where I'll be able to react to a gun, and this was the moment where it happened perfectly. But I'm sure the time I ran, but I'll just take it, and then moving forward, I'll work on that. I expect to put up a good show, to come here and then do my best. For now, I'll just go rest up, and then go through whatever that happened today, and then move on to the final.
Still at the Commonwealth Games, and head coach for national boxing team, the Black Bombers, Ofori Asare, says the Black Bombers are poised and determined to win more medals at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Speaking to GH1 TV's reporter, that's Betty Yawson, after boxer Joseph Kome securing Ghana's first medal after qualifying to the semi-finals of the division, he noted that with prayers and support from Ghanaians, the Black Bombers will do exploits and win more medals for Ghana as they are working effortlessly to achieve this aim in Birmingham.
This is the 6th consecutive time that the Black Bombers are representing Ghana in the international multi-sport events. Ghana has come head-to-head with many international high-standard boxers, but in all, the Black Bombers always stand tall in annexing the ultimate and making Ghana proud by winning medals for the nation. Continuing this feat, one of Ghana's best boxers at the ongoing Commonwealth Games, Joseph Kome, won Ghana's first medal in Birmingham after defeating his opponent Alex Mukaka in the featherweight contest. The 19-year-old young featherweight boxer dominated his New Zealander opponent to advance to the semi-finals of the competition. His progression means he is guaranteed a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. Joseph Kome has been one of Ghana's best boxers at the ongoing Commonwealth Games, having beaten Alan Oike of Papua New Guinea in the previous round, clinching on to his aim of winning nothing but gold. Speaking exclusively to GH1 TV, head coach Ofori Asare shed light on Kome's win.
We cannot compare preparation with England or preparation with other big countries. We know how our economy is. So we came here with determination that we need the medal. And that is what we are doing. We've had one bronze last time, and I thought we don't have to repeat that bronze. It should be either silver or gold or 2 medals.
Meanwhile, Joseph Kome revealed his confidence, training and paying heed to the technical advice from his coach made his win possible. He, however, sent a word across to the world to watch him stop his next opponent.
Actually, anything I'm going to fight me. I'm targeting good. For cleanliness, yeah, buy your next fight. We are sure say me next fight we will stop it.
So Ghana's guaranteed at least a medal at the Commonwealth Games with achievement of Joseph Kome. Still with the Commonwealth Games, the president for the GOC, Bennu Mensah. Please, athletics and boxing are the two disciplines capable of producing and winning medals for Ghana at the Commonwealth Games ongoing currently in Birmingham.
Ghana secured itself the first medal after competing in over 10 events at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Ghana presented 101 athletes to compete in 13 disciplines, and President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Bennu Mensah, tells GH1 TV in Birmingham that his best bet has always been on boxing and track and field events.
Every country has a strong discipline. It's not that you perform well in all the discipline. And for Ghana, and from time immemorial, it's always been boxing and athletics. Okay, weightlifting and the others have come out strongly, in the last few years. That's why I said, okay, weightlifting could up. So coming here, even though I knew anything can happen in sports, the other disciplines could pull up. My strong bet was on athletics, as track and field, boxing and weightlifting, and not to say that the others can win a medal, but traditionally we are strong in this discipline.
He, however, commended Joseph Kome on his win and called on Ghanaians to rally support behind him in prayer.
Kome has started very well, and he's going to reflect in the performance of the other boxers. The guy is so convinced, he's so convicted that he knows he's going to win the gold, and I think that what he needs at this moment is just a prayer and then the spirit of all the 36 million Ghanaians to behind this guy. And trust me, he's going to come with the gold.
Nonetheless, Bennu Mensah expressed his disappointment in some other sports, but says he's hopeful for better times to come.
The only disappointment I have now was in weightlifting. I mean, Forrest said would easily have put about 2 medals in weightlifting. But these things, they happen. You drop your weights and you drop all the 3 weights and you're disqualified. Otherwise, I'd expected a medal from weightlifting.
And the finals for the 100 meters is later on tonight, and it sees Ghana's Azamati in the race with the rest of the giants on the continent and, of course, around the world. That should be it for sports.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Today, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we try our best to live, love, and serve as Jesus taught. You are welcome. Meet with missionaries like me and learn how you can find new happiness in Jesus' church. Visit Christ.org.
We called for auditions, they came in their numbers, they brought their A game on, and the best were selected. Dance Off is back. The first episode of the auditions airs this Sunday at 8 p.m. only on GH1 TV. Don't miss it. Dance Off is brought to you by Flora Tissue, Top Choco, MTN, and Mixi Choco.
GH1 TV, your best experience.
You're welcome back. This is still news tonight. Now, an accident involving a Toyota Hayes passenger car heading towards Takoradi from Accra this afternoon collided with an articulated truck at Ayin Sudo, a community at Cape Coast in the central region. Close to 13 lives were reportedly lost, according to eyewitnesses. A billowing smoke from a cleared farm distorted the visibility on the main Accra Cape Coast Takoradi Road, causing the articulated truck to move out of its lane and crashed into a Toyota Haze vehicle heading towards Takoradi. Now, traffic was brought to a standstill as the casualties of the accident were sprawled on the road. The police, MTTD, and personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service were at the accident scene to clear the road. Well, we sincerely do apologize for those gory pictures there, but we have an eyewitness, Alhaji Said, who is on the line to give us details in this particular incident. Good evening, Alhaji. Alhaji, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm doing great. Let me first of all ask you exactly what happened from your view.
Thank you. Good evening to your viewers. It was between 3 and 4 this afternoon when I was on my way from Cape Coast to Takoradi. And just on the stretch between Atabasi Junction and Ayosido, we saw a billow of smoke all over the place. And the vehicles were stuck and no one was moving. So we didn't know what was going on at that time. And so some of us had to park on the shoulder of the road and then go closer. And when we got closer, we realized that an accident happened less than 2 minutes before we just arrived there. And it was a gory spectacle. Between an articulated truck that was moving from the Takoradi to Cape Coast, and then a minivan, a Toyota minivan, also moving from the Cape Coast area towards Takoradi, and it was not easy. We understand that some people were burning the bush around the place. A vast portion of the bush was being burned, and the smoke was so overwhelming that the drivers could not see in front of them, and that is what actually caused the accident. And when we got there, the people were just lying on the ground, and about 13 of them were dead.
Now, Said, at what time did they place a call to the police, and did they come with paramedics?
Yes, the police did well. I think immediately after the accident, we saw that the police arrived there. I don't know how they got that information, but they immediately arrived there, and the fire service was also there. But they did not have enough personnel to extract the people from the wreckage of those vehicles. So the young guys around and some of the drivers around helped in bringing those people from the wreckage onto the street. So they were scattered on the street before they were moved from the street to the shoulder of the road. And in as much as the police was there, but without those young men, it would have been a very difficult task for the police because the number of the police was not that enough. But they did well. At the end of the day, they were able to at least pull those vehicles from the middle of the road. What we realized was that the driver of the articulated truck veered from his side of the road, and he was going over a ramp, and so he veered from his side of the road and came to the other side. But then the driver of the minibus didn't see him because of the smoke, so he didn't realize that the articulated truck had come into his lane.
Right. So Said, before I let you go now, briefly, is the road now cleared for other road users to ply the stretch?
Please come again.
Is the road now cleared for other road users to also ply that stretch?
Yes, we were standing there for almost an hour. No vehicle could move, but eventually it was cleared, and then we were able to move. Even as we were moving, we realized that you could not move from both sides. So the police will allow one side to move for about 5 minutes. And then
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Saeed Jallo is an eyewitness to the incident, an accident that occurred on the Takoradi-Accra Cape Coast Road that claimed the lives of 13 passengers. Moving on to some other stories now, the NDC has hit hard at the governing New Patriotic Party, demanding removal of the 10 Peswa sanitation and pollution levy, as well as a 20 Peswa levy to cater for charges on the country's excess power capacity emerged from the 2021 budget. Blaming the skyrocketing prices of fuel on such levies, the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, asked government to, among other things, scrap the special petroleum tax, the energy section levy of 20 pesos per litre of diesel and petrol, and 18 pesos kilogram of LPG. Touching on the cedi stabilization, Sami Jemfi expressed worry that the cedi may likely hit 10 cedis to a dollar mark by December if government does not cut expenditure drastically.
Today, the Consumer Price Index, which is the barometer for measuring inflation or changes in the prices of goods and services, and all other known economic indicators, point to the fact that we are not in normal times. Yet, the Akufo-Addo government is not minded to provide relief for the suffering masses. Government has neither demonstrated any sensitivity towards the Ghanaian people who are the receiving end of this intolerable hardship, nor shown any acumen or ability to ameliorate the untold economic hardships we are reeling under. Alas, to borrow the words of one of Africa's famous novelists, Chinua Achebe, the center cannot hold. Things continue to fall apart as continuous economic hardship is unleashed on the Ghanaian people on a daily basis.
And GHOne is up next. "40 young scholars aged between 18 and 25 from the United States are in Ghana to learn the Ghanaian culture, gain deep insight into their ancestral heritage, learn about the historical connections between decolonization and the civil rights movement as part of the Beyond the Return initiative by the Ghana Tourism Authority." Now, President and CEO of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and CEO Derek Johnson leading the students says they will be touring Ada, Cape Coast and other geographic areas in the country.
The 40 scholars arrived at the Kotoka International Airport for the transformative journey in Ghana as part of the Amos C. Brown Fellowship.
We know what Ghana represents to the diaspora, and so following that trip we said we want to bring some students, and so this time our delegation is almost 100 people, 50 of them students, 18 to 25 years old. They are from all over, so from California to New York to Utah to Missouri and Georgia. And so they're coming to experience the richness of Ghanaian culture, to learn about their ancestry, to connect with Africa, and ultimately to have a more global view of what social justice and civil rights and human rights can be.
President of National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Derek Johnson, believes the 10-day journey will afford students the opportunity to immerse themselves in the Ghanaian culture.
But we decided that it was important for us to bring a group of young intellectuals to the continent to understand the journey of the African diaspora. For African American young people, we must stay connected to the continent, and there's no better place to do that than start here in Ghana. It's important for young intellectuals in the United States to recognize the intellectual capacity of the continent, the connectivity of the diaspora, and the possibility of the future. We cannot do that if we're only in Detroit, Michigan, or in New York, or in California. We must do that with a global perspective.
Founded in 1909 in response to the ongoing violence against black people around the country, the NAACP is the largest and most preeminent civil rights organization in the country. There are over 2,200 units and branches across the nation, along with well over 2 million activists.
And on international front, the U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has left Taiwan after a brief but controversial visit to the country. Pelosi, the most senior U.S. politician to visit in 25 years, departed on Wednesday after meeting leaders in the capital, Taipei. But her visit, as part of a wider Asian tour, sparked fury in Beijing after she ignored its warnings not to travel to the island. Taiwan is self-ruled, but China sees it as a breakaway province that would eventually unite with it. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said those who play with fire will not come to a good end, and those who offend China will be punished. And as always, very much delighted and appreciate your company. Thank you very much for making time with us. Till we come away again tomorrow with some more news update. You can log on to starfm.com.gh for more news updates and get interactive with us across our social media portals. My name is Joshua Nanakwame Ayura. Have a good evening.
Many things happen in Ghana. And before you know it, the next big issue leaves you light in understanding things happening around you.
Because you were honorable majority